Hi, my name is Kathy Sheffers, and I'm with Goodheart-Willcox Publisher. I'm joined by my colleague, Katrina Pilo. We are so happy to be with the author team of Amy Lee, Margaret Delahanty Kelly, Catherine Lee, and Maggie Bergeron, who just published a brand new resource for first-year experience courses.
Approaching College with Purpose is focused on the importance of students beginning their educational journey with intention, developing good habits, and creating a strong mindset, and acquiring strategies to ensure a successful transition to college. One of the core values listed in your instructor resources is the importance of all readers, teachers and students alike, adopting a growth mindset and an asset-based approach to one another as learners. Can you expand on this further?
One thing that I'd say about that and the growth mindset, it goes back to that transformational piece. So what if we imagined that all of our interactions, whether it's a think, pair, share in a breakout session, or the interaction that an instructor has with a student, what if we thought of that as a moment of transformation for ourselves? So a moment of real deep learning. We would engage differently in terms of listening. We'd engage differently in terms of kind of anticipating the outcome, right? Well, you want me to change your grade, or you need to learn this, right? We could see it differently. And so there's so much power, I think, in recognizing that every interaction that we have, whether it be with ourselves and our own thoughts, or with an instructor, or with a classmate, has this possibility to transform and to shape our perspective and our understanding of this moment that we're living in, whether that literally be a moment in the classroom or the more kind of worldly context that we're living in, is just so powerful. And so that mindset, seeing every opportunity to engage as that powerful, is something that really does, I think, it's foundational to the transformative nature of human engagement and education as well.
I'm not sure if this speaks just to that question or if it's kind of synthesizing a few of the questions, but something that I am very excited about and proud of in the book is that it is taking a lot of complicated skills that we tend to think people just accrue by doing, writing, engaging diversity, collaborating, communicating, cooperating. Those are, especially today, given just many of the things going on in the world, those are really complicated skills, and they require sophisticated cognitive tools, self-awareness, and a capacity to understand others and to be open to others. And so those are processes that by which we learn to do those things. They don't just happen because someone puts us in a group. And something I'm excited about the book is, both for instructors who use the book and for students who use the book, it's really treating those as processes. And as Margaret said, it's giving people the occasion to, practice, do a low stakes practice. Here, read a student reflecting on the experience of doing it. What do you learn from how somebody else experienced, or what they learned later? Or just giving, these moments to try, to reflect, to hone, to study, to improve, to connect with somebody else about how they went through the process. Those are all so important, and they're very difficult to capture in the dimensions of a book. And yet, I think teachers, we all know how important those are. And I think the book really does a good job of honoring that complexity and providing scaffolded and practical and doable steps towards those processes. And something for me personally important about it too is Margaret still is in that first year experience. We were lucky to develop an incredible first year experience program at our university in the College of Education and Human Development about 10 years ago. And one of the things that experience brought me into was working totally in tandem with student services professionals. And like many universities, we tend to have a separate academic curricular faculty piece, and then student services, student development piece, and getting to work together as a team with people, with our students at the center, really transformed the way that I understand the opportunities I have in the classroom to work with students and to think about the student's whole person. I think I did tend to think more about my class, which of course is the most important class they'll ever have because I love what I teach and it's so important to me. But getting to set my class in the context of a student's career and life outside of college, and then getting to set that first year in the context of, the pathway that it was going to be, those were really critical experiences for me that changed the way I think and the way that I teach and the way that I run and administer programs and train and develop people in my programs. And I think this book reflects that learning too.
And something else I would say about this is that mindset is really something that's woven throughout kind of the fabric of the book. And in our emphasis on mindset, I think we really work to acknowledge that not everything is within a student's control in college, but mindset is one really important thing that they can focus on and control and can kind of cultivate a really specific approach that works for them to college and to their classes and things outside of classes. And so we really work to honor the complexity of the student experience that and really help them to control one major thing that they can control, which is kind of how they approach things and how they think about things, how they think about themselves and their classes and things like that.
It's a good point, Catherine, and a skill we need well beyond college as well. So great to learn it during this transformative time.
So this concludes our conversation. Thank you so much for joining us, and I want to thank our authors again for their time today. If you have any additional questions or would like a sample of Approaching College with Purpose textbook and student journal, please contact your GW educational consultant. Thank you again.